Civic Math, Part 4. April 1776, the world was watching. A small town, a few leaders, a system in motion. But none of this happened in isolation. In April 1776, the world was already connected. America was part of a global system. Britain was a dominant empire. France was a rival, and Spain was an observer. Global conflict already shaping the world. At that time, London had already anywhere from 700,000 to 750,000 people. Beijing over a million. Paris roughly 600,000. Istanbul about 500,000 plus. And Philadelphia, the largest city in the colonies, had about 35,000 people. The colonies were small players in a very large world. Trade system at that time were Europe to Africa and the Americas. The colonies provided raw material. Britain provided manufacturing goods. And Africa provided not only raw material, but slaves. Independence meant breaking a global system. While war was still ongoing in the Americas, Europe was watching. Trade routes were disrupted. No one knew the outcome. No allies meant very low probability of succeeding this revolution. With allies, a higher probability. Revolution is equal to local action multiplied by global reaction. Cities meant scale, trade meant connection, and empires meant power. Local decisions had global consequences. A small town, a few leaders, a system in motion, and the world watching. Independence was not inevitable, it was calculated locally, nationally, and globally. As a matter of fact, let's look at what was happening globally in terms of population. I put down some numbers here for us. The population back in those days, these were estimated. Again, there is no reliable data, but just an estimation. The largest population or largest city at that time was in Beijing, China, with over 1 million people, followed by Edo, Japan, 1 million, Guangzhou or Canton in China, 800,000, London, anywhere from 700 to 700,000 and 750,000, Istanbul slash Constantinople, 700,000 people, Paris, 600,000 people, Naples, 400,000 people, Moorshedabad, that's in India, 400,000 people, Cairo in Egypt, anywhere from 300,000 to 400,000 people, Yangjun or Nanjing in China, 200,000 people, and Philadelphia, 35,000 people. That was the largest city in colonial America. Now, that gives you an idea about what was happening. So let's focus a little bit now on the economy, the colonial America economy at that time. Let's talk about GDP. Again, these are just estimate. We don't have anything solid, but just estimate. It is estimated that the 13th colony or 13 colonies that was part of, that was the colonial that belonged to colonial Great Britain. Let's say the 13 colonies, GDP was estimated at, let's say in 1774, at about 142.2 million. The gross income estimate for 1774 colonial America was about 189.7 million. So for a population about 2.5 million, that exclude, of course, Native Americans. The colonial economy on the eve of independence was estimated to be around 140 190 million per year in contemporary dollars. The colonies were only a tiny fraction of the world economy, probably well under 1% of world output. But they punch above their weight because income per person was relatively high. Large-scale manufacturing was still limited, but iron and shipbuilding were major colonial strengths. Colonies exported tobacco, wheat and flour, rice, indigo, dried fish, fur, rum, sugar, iron, and naval stores. Britain sold the colonies many finished goods, including cloth, furniture, knives, guns, and kitchen utensils. Some of the most important non-British manufacturing in the wider world include Bengal's cotton and silk textile, salt production, shipbuilding, and indigo. Colonial America produced a lot, but much of its strength was in raw material, shipping, food export, and semi-manufactures. Britain and parts of Asia still dominated many higher-value finished manufacturers. So to conclude, in 1776, the 13 colonies were small in global terms. Roughly 0.3 of the world people and probably under 1% of its output. But they were prosperous, commercially connected, and unusually influential for their size. This concludes this series. Thank you for watching. If you like, please share it with one person. Subscribe, and we'll see you next time.